Hi everyone, I'm Argolfump here with another Sammy Keys review. This is Sammy Keys number 13. Sammy Keys and the Wedding Crasher. I like this book. It is the wedding book. It's the wedding book, hence the title. But I was expecting to have the big ending be somebody crashes the wedding. But no, the big ending is that Sammy solves the mystery, but she's caught in the culprit's car and the culprit's driving away and she's got the ring, so they can't have the wedding. And it's Officer Borsch who's getting married, this guy over here, so she has to like call him from the culprit's car. And you know, he and his cop buddies, because all the groomsmen are cop buddies, they like show up and arrest the bad guys. What an exciting way to end the book. So it was a very good, exciting ending, but just the title, Wedding Crasher, makes you think somebody's gonna crash the wedding. And there is one unexpected guest, who's Casey Acosta. And that's sort of an ongoing story with this book, which I didn't like so much, was that Sammy and Casey are kind of being broken up. You know, they were sort of starting to get together, building up to their big first kiss, but that's the ending. They have their first kiss at the ending, but they spend pretty much all of this book apart from each other when the news is revealed that Casey's sort of moving back in with his mom, because Dad is sort of moving to LA to be with Sammy's mom. And and you know, Casey sends her a mean breakup text, which really makes her upset. And I'd say like 70% of the way through, Mom mentions that Sammy sent Casey a breakup note. Sammy was distracted, so she didn't really pick up on it. But as soon as I heard that, I was like, that's got to be a fake up breakup. And it was. Heather was responsible for everything. She gave the fake note to Casey. She actually stole Sammy's homework at the beginning of the book to copy Sammy's handwriting. And the stuff with the phones, she stole Casey's phones. So, Casey's phone. And there's drama with the phones in this book, because phones get stolen, and Heather's phone ends up being located inside the porta potty in the back of the school. So let's get with the main storyline of the book. The main mystery is that somebody is threatening one of the teachers. They wrote like "Die Dude" on top on the chalkboard, and they leave a threatening message from Billy's phone, which happens to be found in Sammy's backpack. So that's how Sammy's kind of brought into this mystery. And I feel like there's a third incident. There is a third incident, and then the fourth one is somebody scratches "Die Dude" in the side of his car, and Sammy just happened to know what his car looks like, where he parks, and so that kind of makes it look like she's guilty. So you know, and there's a new vice principal who's in charge of the school, and he is not as friendly to Sammy as the others. Officer Borsch, he believes Sammy when she says she didn't have anything to do with it. But it feels like Mr. Foxmore kicked Officer Borsch off the case just so he could pursue Sammy as the top suspect. So Sammy and Billy are sort of like the top suspects. Other suspect is a strange girl named Sasha, and there's the other phone drama. Like, she's a new girl. She's like a homeschool girl. And she basically trips Heather and steals Heather's phone and then shows it off to Sammy. It's like, hee, look, I stole Heather's phone because she's being mean to you. Let's be best friends. And Sammy's like, okay, that's kind of dangerous. Maybe you shouldn't do that. And then later in class, she's like, hey, you want a copy? You give me some answers, I'll give you some answers. And Sammy's like, no. And then after that, Sasha's like, oh, so we're not best friends after all. I made you pinky swear not to tell anyone about the phone stealing, and now you won't let me copy answers in class? So Sasha is a suspect because Sasha was involved with some of this phone shenanigans stuff and keeping a secret. There's also, I don't know if he's a new student or not, named Lars, he's a new student. Messing around and trying to make Sammy seem guilty too. And at the way this book is set up is sort of like other mysteries. Particularly, I'm thinking of Nancy Drew Trill, The Twister, which is a video game mystery where you've got like 5 or so different characters. And it just goes through them one by one. So it's like, hey, suspect number 1, we get suspect 1's alibi, and then we move on to suspect number 2, we wrap up their storyline, move on to suspect 3, move on to their storyline. And that's what happens with this book is, once we get Sasha and Lars's thing wrapped up, we don't see them again. We don't really see them again. They don't appear after we've wrapped up what their big secret is. They're in love. They were kissing in the secret hallway. And that's a perfectly fine way. I actually like that. Suspect number 2, 3, who kind of gets cleared as Cisco the janitor. And I totally thought he was guilty. So there were like a handful of clues which made it seem like he was guilty. He plausibly could have been the culprit. And it's around page 200, and these books are all like 300 pages, where Sammy puts the clues together. She puts together the small clues and realizes Cisco could be guilty. And at that point, I'm like, darn, he's not guilty, because there's 100 pages left in the book. So I feel like if the book had ended there, then he totally would have been guilty. He would have been the surprise culprit. But the book goes on for another 100 pages, so I knew he had to be innocent. Sometimes what mysteries will do is they will wrap up the story like halfway through or 2/3 of the way through, and then another mystery occurs. I've seen this in multiple books where like, okay, we figured out who the culprit is, and then that person gets murdered. So there's a second culprit we have to chase, and that's the final third of the book. That's happened more than once. So I feel like that could have been a way for the story to go. But that's not what it went. It went with the, okay, we've got all the Cisco stuff, and then he kind of just never appears again. Like I said, he doesn't really show up. A lot of the book is about Sammy's personal life as opposed to her trying to solve the mystery, because she doesn't particularly like Mr. Vince, the victim, and he's sort of, she sort of wants to clear her good name, but she doesn't really need to try. All she has to do is keep her nose clean. Like, don't get involved in any other incidents, just behave, and that's really all she has to do, yeah. But this book focuses a lot on Sammy's personal life more than the mystery. I didn't mind. Her personal life is interesting. She's got all this drama going on with her mom. Her mom shows up for a good amount of the book, so that was nice. And of course, Heather, for the first time, finds out about Sammy's mom dating her dad. And it's absolutely hilarious scene where Sammy plays this up for the class. She's like, Heather, we're gonna be sisters. Oh, it'll be just like Dawn and Marianne from the Babysitters Club. Check out my reviews for the Babysitters Club. What is it? Marianne and the Great Romance, and Dawn and the Wicked Stepsisters, the 2-part book where they become stepsisters. Book 30 and 31, I believe. How do I know this stuff off the top of my head? Why can't I know something useful? Hold on a second. Now I need to actually see if I'm right about that. Book 31, Dawn's Wicked Stepsister. Book 29. Oh, where's book 30? Do I not have a copy of book 30? Oh my gosh, everybody. This is the real mystery. What happened to my copy of Babysitters Club number 30? Sorry for getting totally distracted and off topic, but I am wrapping things up. So, a lot of Sammy's personal drama with her life. She doesn't get to see Casey. And a lot of drama with her friend, Marissa. Marissa's younger brother, Mikey, is now really fantastic and trying really hard. Hudson has made a great change in him. But it's kind of tragic where Mikey begs his mom to not go away, just to stay with them. And she's like, ew. And then just leaves. And that's sort of heartbreaking. And another kind of heartbreaking moment is when Sammy is encouraged to watch her mother's soap opera, where there's a paternity drama storyline, and Sammy's like, why would I want to watch paternity drama? I am living that experience. I don't know who my father is still. And wow, that line was a whammy. That really hit home. So the story continues, and it kind of goes into the The final third focuses more on the wedding stuff, because there's wedding disasters. Sammy has to be the bridesmaid, and the dress doesn't fit, and then the bride accidentally did spray-on tan, so now she's orange, and oh, that's a disaster. And the book kind of went a little bit out of its way to explain what workers' comp is, and that's when I knew it's like, ooh, that felt like a bit of a culprit giveaway when the book set up the idea of workers' comp, meaning the culprit is probably trying to get workers' comp, and there's only one person who would do that, which would be Mr. Vince, the victim. He purposely attacked himself so he could claim, you know, he needs to quit for his own sanity, his psychological safety. And he got members of his bike gang buddies to help out with that. You could argue it's also a bit of a giveaway too, that we've got the biker gang on the front and then the bike here, and it's like, well, that's sort of a giveaway. Oh yeah, this was the second thing. Somebody put a dead rat. That was the other sabotage incident against a teacher. Dead rat in the teacher's area. Of course, I think this is supposed to be Billy wearing the silly hat, because he did that sort of at the beginning of the book. There seems to be a little depth to Billy, because he's a jokey guy, but he does confess to Sammy that, you know, his father thinks he's a screw-up, probably because he's always joking all the time instead of being serious. And that really seemed to hit hard home for Hammy. Hit hard home for Hammy? Sorry. That hit hard home for Sammy. If I can't talk anymore, I should finish this review. It was a good book. I liked it. I thought the mystery was fine. I did like all the personal life stuff, so I didn't mind that the book leaned a little more heavy on that than the mystery. I especially loved the end with all the wedding stuff. That was great and exciting. I do wish that we had gotten like some sort of wrap up, like another scene with Cisco or another scene with Sasha and Lars after they're cleared. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was nice to see Officer Borsch and his role with Sammy, and how, you know, he used to be her big enemy, but now they're sort of friends, and that was nice too. Thanks for watching. I'm also posting a review for Legally Blonde today. You can check that out. It is nowhere near as good as this book. Definitely not as good. Recommend this book, and check out my other Sammy Keys reviews if you feel so inclined. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to look for my Missing Babysitters Club book.